Hello, welcome to this video. My name is Iredafenevesho Owolabi and I'm the creativity expert. I'm also the author of over 16 books and counting. And so today I just want to share briefly with you about my journey as an author, because most times when people hear that I've been able to write 16 books and over, they are marveled, like, wow, how did you do that? How did you come about it? So I just felt that today I should do something in that line. So it started over 6 years ago. In 2016 to be precise, I began to get some unique understanding and insight into the subject of kingdom, the kingdom of God, like kingdom. So I began to write articles on my thoughts about the kingdom, and they were really unique, like you hadn't heard about it from anywhere. But at this point I was getting a different revelation of the kingdom, and by this revelation I began to understand my name. Yes, that long name that you always hear me talk about. The name actually means the kingdom of God has come into my house. And so that was a big one for me, because I began to understand that that name was a very deep name. I began to appreciate the name the more, and I began to understand what the kingdom was all about. So I started writing about the kingdom, about kingdom citizens, about kingdom ambassadors, about kingdom dialect, about kingdom culture and different wonderful things that I had not seen anywhere. I had not heard anybody talk about it. And I came to understand that, the kingdom is really not a religious topic. Even though most people make it out to be a religious one, but it's not a religious topic. It's not a topic for the four walls of the church only. It's the topic that everyone needs to hear about. So I started writing about it, and as I began to pour out my heart, I began to see responses on my Facebook page, and people started asking me, when is the book coming? When is the book coming? And at this time I had no plans to write a book. Although before now, many years ago, people had told me, oh, you speak so well, you construct your text messages so well, so you would write a book one day. But I never took it seriously until at this point in my life, people started asking me, when am I writing the book? When is the book coming out? For some people, I told them, I'm not really writing a book. While for some, I said, okay, I'll let you know. So as time went on, I got a call from one of my mentors, a professor, and he had been seeing my post on Facebook. So he called me and asked me if I had plans of converting my articles into a book. So at that point, I knew that this was getting really, really big, and I needed to actually take a decision. So at that point, I prayed about it and I asked God for a leading on whether to write a book or not, and I got a go ahead, and boom, that was how I came about my first book. And that book really, really was a great success, and that was how my journey as an author began. So it began from that passion, and from there I began to discover more about writing. I discovered that I could actually solve lots of problems as an author. So I began to write in other subjects that I knew I had expertise on, I knew I had knowledge on, and I knew that people needed to receive understanding on, because I had that ability to help people understand complex things. So that was how I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 16 books, and I still have one in the pipeline right now. So that's just been my journey, and that was how I began. For you, it could be a different inspiration, it could be a different motivation, but the bottom line is everyone has a book inside of him. Everyone has the capacity to be an author. Everyone has a story, has an experience, has some insight to share with the world, and you must do well to flesh it out. Do not go to the grave with your book ideas unfleshed out. You've got to birth that brainchild that you have, that story, that idea, that explanation, that wisdom, that experience. You've got to birth it. So I'm going to leave you with that for now. My name remains Iredafenevesho Owolabi. Thank you for listening. See you later.